Let's start the topic after 10K today. Okay, why not?
I'm
Okay.
judging you, that is Sekgothudi.
Subs?
I'm judging you.
Judging me for what? Judging me for what?
I've got an icebox where my heart used to. I'm so cold. That's not true because that was our era.
I know the song, but I don't know the lyrics.
Oh, okay.
I'm that boy. I missed the stage music book. You know,
I
I was
know.
not there. I know I missed it.
Just the girlies, not to miss that. Just the girlies.
Yeah, no, it's just something else. Hello, Sister Boss. Hello, Sis Bali. No, for me, share my lyrics, Dipadile. It was R&B, of course. It did not happen. Then there came a reggae era. And at least with the reggae, the songs are simple. So, yeah, my lyrics, they are fine. Then came the era, yeah, hip hop, Motswako, there from the Northwest. Yeah, no, I tried. I tried. Gutuk Singanga, tried memorizing those lyrics. Now and there, I will try and Arabu, double HP. Then after that, then it was late.
I know the girlies. Runa. I think maybe there was a time where us go, especially in high school, as girls, we would like near computer music books. If yours was thicker, sometimes you would. Let me tell you. So if let's say I wrote the lyrics are Beyonce irreplaceable. I
Yeah.
even cut out a picture of Beyonce and paste it, and then get a frame got like a pink highlighter, and then on the side there's like the lyrics. Guys, we went through the most.
Yeah, no, we did the things, eh?
Listen,
When at the battle, that sound of tapping that you're hearing is a sign for you to tap. Please keep on tapping. And yes, wanna take a flabber, Narezamo memorizer, all of those. Vibe stealer, but what the music book you have antsenelete ba? Antsenelete or kitty the lyrics, it's a ing. Mine had pierced chocolate paper messages. Ay, ay, ay. Hey, no, it's a lot. It's a lot. For some reason, I just remembered. You guys remember the Love Candy?
with a I'll tell you, love is blind. What? But what's roses are red, violets are blue, chocolate is sweet, but not like you. Oh my goodness.
Yo, I love candies were the thing, guys. Yo, but those things will
Ew.
cut your tongue.
Let
Mara,
me
you will bite them.
just for the message also. And you know how you got annoyed if you buy love candies and you have like the same message in three of them, you're like, hi. And then you go to the store to replace the three because you're hoping to get a different message.
Man, Sabrina says I still buy them. They give me hope.
Sabrina, you're not the only one. You're not the only one. I still buy love candies. I still buy love candies.
Well, I didn't even think they still make them,
Oh no,
guys.
they do. They do. I buy like a big pack. And then
You lie.
I look forward to read the messages and see what they say.
I'm mad, guys. Yo, I know.
Phela
When
Kenchi,
eh?
when are you not gonna be interested? Because when I remember you are certified when uhleli kahle.
Maybe I must buy them to keep the spark going, yabo.
Listen, it's nice that I ask for the love candies.
Someone mentioned funny faces. I still buy funny faces even today.
No, funny faces we about the taste. Like
Like
yo,
when they melting out in your tongue.
and they
Okay.
Now,
Hey,
yeah,
I
no.
know. It is the way. It is where you are from the era ya Savelo loves Kagiso percentage.
What was
That
that?
time, lengwalo la teng o le minile bo sexy da go roetse gore ke eng ke mission ho le bula. Guys, I know.
Wena ke mang ke Tibatso?
Eh,
Ke mang? Tibatso. Remember how we used to do the Sabelo loves Kagiso and then you cancel the S's and then two S's and you cancel the O's and then two A's and then you cancel the O's and then you've got two O's and then at the end you need to add up all these numbers and then you get like a 98 or 57 and you're like, oh no, 87%, at least Kagiso loves me.
Pebbles, I did it recently.
I'm judging you, Auntie P.
I got 48.
Guys, we've been alive. Wait my 2000. How you just say?
Yeah.
Guys, we've been alive. Like, I got it 48. Auntie P 48%. You can do better.
Yo, hi guys. You know, it got to a point where you even knew how to manipulate those letters. Nje.
Vele.
If you know the second name of the person, change to the second name
If if
just
if
to make.
if the shorter version of the person's name has the same alphabet, you use their nickname or the shorter version because you want the bigger number.
Oh wow, I'm gonna take a simunye. The one.
Wow, guys, di ba lang bokolo ba?
Abuti Leroy, our eat maro wena na kwenye TV ina le
It doesn't
sekele di
know.
kala
It
iri
doesn't.
tu after 9.
Guys, yo guys,
Oh, Bob TV, chef. Bob TV.
Joiting Nibile like Mavane negotiated some video he saw on TikTok as in like this guy was like doing a timeline of like Mzansi TV actually.
Yeah.
I'm not Joe Hasses Mana then I was like guys Joe just about that like guys I'm gonna waste when you groove zira bo bari gonna what's that TV1 TV2 TV3
Bro,
that's all I was
bro.
like "Eee."
I know it was a lot, guys. It was a lot. We watched.
Nah, I saw a TikTok someone asking Hori who else stayed up after 12 on ETV. Yo,
I was traumatized, guys. I was traumatized. Hey,
just
but
like
me, if it was anything that I liked was Friday night TV, knowing hore ho na le ma China da, ka di kung fu da. Yo,
Lebo Sosnega, so Lebo Fandam. That's my Monday morning, Brahma.
guys.
I say, born. You really couldn't wait. The horror. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna Sosnega fan. Oh my God! I'm gonna board. I'm gonna kill correct.
Yeah, I know. TV was something else in those days. Ke bo di leno tune ka mo kore dia boa. Saturday from 12 go bo Pop TV. Guys, bo Michael Knight. Wow.
Michael Knight.
Yo.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Michael
I
Knight.
know. Those were the times. Who was that one? I don't think it was MacGyver. There was this guy with a. It was a similar. I think it was an adaptation of Michael Knight, but it was a more recent version of it. At the time, the guy was driving a Chrysler. I forgot what model that Chrysler was, but the one with the hatchback type of a vibe back roller thing. Let's all. Hey guys, I know. And then can I go SABC 3? I think if I remember well. Our TV used to be something else. But kana king that But this one was very late. Bo Passions. You guys remember Timmy and Tabitha?
Timmy.
Hey, bro, dilo tsa ka sata, dilo tseo wena.
It was Passions and the Young and the Restless, I think. Maybe
Yeah,
that's the
man,
line.
the young and the restless also.
No,
Guys, Passions used to be my 4 o'clock ngilapo, guys.
Mamela, you came back from school and you just threw your bag there. If your transport drop you off later, you are mad at the transport driver because now you're not gonna see Timmy. Timmy.
Yeah. Guys. I know. It was something else, guys. Our TV
I'm
was
like,
was
KG.
nice.
I'm
Yeah?
like, KG, mfana ne, but again, never gonna remember na kwele, after school, there dala bola, there must right then, there marabona. Hire 4. Rotary was about Dragon Ball Z. What? I'm like, I'm like, I'm like, na school, no go
I
strategy.
know. Dragon Ball Z used to be an era, guys. That one collected us all. The boys were collected like for days.
No, not just
We
the
were there.
boys. Not just the boys, please. Not
Thank you,
just the
man.
boys.
Bona le Pokemon. Ngwana take.
Niyamukhumbula uthando in paradise. Hey, bekunyiwa lapho.
Oh my god. The fact that these songs don't even leave your mind. Like
They
what?
don't. They get stuck with you. They get stuck with you. Wacy is the same era as when we came back from school and would collect one rands and go challenge each other ka Street Fighter.
Like
Bo Goku, Bo Ken.
Jurassic Park or Hataking that Boomer stuff. Pac-Man. Guys.
I'm like, Mustafa, man.
Ke Mustafa.
Hey, Mustafa, isn't Mustafa. No.
Ku
Ka
dynamite
Street Fighter. Kana damana ke mambonga or bomba. Wa letsogo le etsang so.
Nelly Blanca, Nisi Blanca.
No. Blanca ke wa motlakase. Go na le mongwe na le matikane. It is what fighter tsa ma China battle so.
Yes. Oh, yes. Like throughout, like pop, 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 pop. I
The
remember.
bit of let's all wine that.
remember.
But it's boo something. Yo.
Never Ruga, we talk about Toragalo, we talk about Bessa guy, but again, kind of like 15 moves at the same time.
Dog.
Wait, that's as much as what that guys there. Fuck.
Holu get.
It was Honda. It was Honda, guys.
Hondas. Oh my god.
Ntando, you just revealed your age. At least you are not the only one.
ku dynamite Sekgothudi.
Hey. Yo. Ka BMX. Nako teng BMX e etsang. E re tsenga stress.
Mamela.
O batla BMX so snakes.
Wakwata, I remember on my birthday, I wanted one, and my dad came with a very dizzy brand, and I was like, it's not the one. My dad was like, look at like everything. I'm like, no, it's not the one. It's not the one.
Oh yes, the Indian guy that floats when Nintendo CB. I forgot who that guy is. And he would just be like, Jaja, oh shut. What? Guys. Guys.
That was a legend, yeah. Oh, no, it's fine.
Guys, those things were the one, guys. Yo, I know. And Yana, I saw that they are selling these, I forgot what they call it. It's like a console where you can play these arcade games. So I was like, yeah, no. One must see that thing. Those memories, guys.
Now I'm guilty. If you go to your Carnival City Empress Palace, you get like the Joyland side of the kids.
Yeah.
You find Street Fighter. So when I take my nephew and I see Street Fighter, I'm like, come Tanayam. I'm like, over.
Oh my god, which one is BA? I know we are going deeper there. Which one is BA?
Now you what again when you are rosy when I'm balloon clean BA. Yeah,
I just now had a memory of Oh my god! So go tuck shop. There was this shop in Analytics Michini, Baraking, most probably it's a football, but table soccer. I
Oh,
Table
remember
soccer.
we used to buy like it's about the pirates. Those basically the all sorts, mare, the ones with the 3 layers or 4 layers there, and then you peel the layer one by one.
nah.
One of the baraking get all sorts. It's a licorice.
Yes.
They have the square one that has 3 layers. Usually it will be pink, black licorice, and then pink at the
Okay.
bottom. Those ones used to be just sold as they are, and we used to call them the pirates. I don't remember those. Oh my god.
Aba Kiji, I wanna learn how to learn a Kiji.
Yes.
At least the time I hope one. Like you would eat what's a layer a and then go in and layer a. Yo.
Yeah, but we were too young for the tech shop when I go to. We were way too young for that.
Utswang pumpkin. No. Kana nna le wena, we are the same caliber, same age. That's why you would remember such.
Oh man. Mr. T. Remember there was those things about Mr. T. The time there was this one also, yeah, I think in a local SBC 3. Was it? Sabrina. But it was similar to Sabrina, but it was not that. I don't know if it was called Charmed or something like that. Lone na le the sisters ba dilanga dio tsa boloi tse. I was like, hey,
Charmed.
guys,
The charms.
get charmed, ne?
Yeah, the charms.
I was like,
Boma Coupe, my girlies will remember. Guys, remember how we used to sit for Hannah Montana and High School Musical.
Nah,
Guys,
man.
let's go back to that age, guys. Let's go back to that age. Nakusina matata. Bona Sabrina. And funniest thing, when Sabrina started come to our lab, I'm like, yo, remember Sabrina, guys?
Yeah, the teenage witch.
hey, bruh. What about Touched by Angel? Touched by Angel, which one? Yo, I know we are going deep. I don't remember this one.
I'm not guys, but I'm not again. Like, do you remember Wings Club? Jolebo Dabo, Lewo Jasmine, Lady Niraso. I'm not a wild room with a little big breakfast.
On SABC2, Dab.
2 years, yeah, actually 2 yeah. What are you gonna big breakfast?
The crush I had on Elisa Milano on Charmed.
Also on TikTok, someone said, if you still remember, 0839133. You should be married with 5 kids.
Forever.
Guys, we used to remember the address there, SAB.
Yeah, Auckland Park.
16 Marvel 2109.
2109.
Yeah.
Yo, ananibatala nina. What?
Yo,
No,
Dab said bye and never came back. Hey, bye.
Like that nigga.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Man. Yeah, Ramona, di man. Bona. 13, 14. Oh, Ejo.
Vatsila, what are you saying to us? 330. Nobody. Wait. Nobody. SMS hot to 314.
I'm gonna working subs. We used to buy ringtones cafe front that dog.
Yes.
Via 313.
True tone. What? Nearly true tone, innit?
Hey.
Yeah.
The MP3
I know.
20 rand day one. Imagine.
Life was life, guys.
Mara,
Life
guys,
was life.
can I ask something honest now that I think about it? What did the TV production think? Nabanakanang when they were playing Emmanuel and advertising 13, 14 on broad daylight, in broad daylight, go TV. Like, I'm thinking about it now and I'm like, you're not gonna find those stuff like Kotsi, what did they think at that time?
No, but I can
Yeah,
remember
no.
back then, but again, the family schedules now, like, they were more stable as like, but again, like back then. So now, and Happy Mania was like soft porn, you know, like this is and like wild and what. So like they knew how to agile, as like you see Bible 10 as like,
Leroy,
yeah, that actually they're sleeping. Yeah.
I'm judging you. I'm judging you, Leroy. Urim
Why?
Emmanuel was soft porn. Yo,
Yeah.
mina ngeke give me was hectic porn.
No, Sab's hope, no. Like that is working from the report actually. Barang from Kobo dari kare BCC what eo. So they say that was soft porn. But anyway, like
Rupa disclaimer.
yeah, please,
Hello,
no,
disclaimer. Yeah,
please,
yeah,
yeah.
no.
ama
And guys, no, like my apologies actually.
Yes, Manateke, come through.
ama-adverts wakhona ilabi wacala ngaboma-10 so uyazi vele ukuthi hayi sesimele i-2 hours yonke ukuthi iqale yonke
Exactly.
uyayehlisa lapha ivolume amabhathini sawukhumbula amabhathini uyehlise ube
This is one enough. Wait, guys, wait.
Views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the individuals participating in the conversation and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the podcast host or any affiliated organization. Listener discretion is advised.
And just like that, we can start the show.
Just like that.
umjolo sibone ku-all you need is love
Actually,
Hey!
yeah.
Oh, you do
Yeah,
this.
take it. Come on, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
no.
put it down.
hayi le nto yamanje sawubona ku-all you need is love umjolo ukuthi naye manje bagilana kahle kahle sho ukuthi ukugilana kwaqala kadala kusinto yamanje yazi
Yeah, no.
Something when I'm gonna take it. Every time I see Shomla Tandala, I still see All You Need Is Love. Like I can never see, like now he appears on. There's a funny thing that plays on ETV. I think that my mom watches that thing every single night without fail, and you shouldn't speak to her. Hi Lalantwe. Shomla Tandala appears more, replacing Zolisa Kaluva, which was Jason on Generations.
Yeah.
Guys, Jason, I don't watch that thing, but you know when Uchaisa something, Zolisa Kaluva killed that role. Ngoku bafake uHlomla Tandala, like even the villain does not come out in him, and that's a very like that's a villain. Yeah, that's a villain role. And you know, I was saying to my mom the other day, my mom laughed, and I'm like, uHlomla Tandala should have just stayed on All You Need Is Love and lived everything. Like, no, Leave Vanessa Janssen.
yes ups lapho bekusasene-competition between uBrooke noKarabo Moroka
Hey.
bekusasenenye i-competition yaboBrooke
That's why we so promiscuity serious here on there.
Hey.
That one was so high now.
And then on SABC 3, their match was Cheryl De Villiers.
Yeah.
Me like a smiley says it's hanging everything, and I was like, yo.
Finally, she was really badass, that sister. Man, Cheryl.
Hey. Bakahins. Hey, Bakahins was a Stephanie Demar.
ubaba umsele kudala simazi ngo-Rich akhumbula u-Rich abhizi no-Taylor nango-Brooke ngapha kudala zibuya hayi khona
Yeah, but you know, Kimanga mentioning Duke Wako backstage. Guys, that guy still hurts me even today, guys. Sorry, I don't know what happened to Duke. Duke his character was just the way he, yeah.
Did
But
he not
anyway,
die?
eh?
Did he not die?
No, I think he's still alive, but
Really?
he has seen flames. Yeah, I know. If you see him now, you would not.
And
You would not.
he was a hunk, that guy. He was nice.
Very chilled fella, and his acting was just something else. Oh, but now Apimula dust off your shoulders. Hey, Libuchi, but yeah, no, but anyway, guys, in TV was TV before war, Moja what. Hey, but anyway, guys, asking for donations online. Hey, yeah, no, it's rough. It's rough. It's rough. David Gennaro. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking us through memory lane. I really appreciate that. And let's keep tapping. Okay, so we are on 10K. You guys, okay, so we must do memory lane for the tapping to happen. I want us to actually today have a young family meeting. And we just talk amongst ourselves, and maybe when we have time a bit, we can then go into the topic of the day. And we always say to to you guys that we ask for your bargaining topics, suggestions, and if there is any issues or queries or grievances that you have, kindly come through and let's talk about it. We have had a meeting, go head office, and we're like, you know what, I think it's good that we have a family meeting, just to find ourselves again and just have a young chat about the show in itself, how we go about doing the show, and what we discuss, what we talk about, and all of that. Sometimes we just need a refresher and a reminder, and touch base. That's the word, right? Touch base and make sure that all of you are, for lack of a better word, satisfied. You're fulfilled by the show, and you feel heard, you feel fairly treated and everything else, because the way we do the lives here is slightly different from some of the lives. So we like to do protocol, we'd like to put a few rules so that we don't go over certain lines, right? But we also acknowledge that as a team, the audience comes and goes. So we have people who have, been with us from the beginning, and there's people who have joined us as we continued going, right? So in that, we perhaps also have failed in just reiterating how we would like to do things or how we do things. And with that, also, that continues to change. So I wanted us to have a bit of a discussion also based on what happened yesterday. In terms of the life, there was a couple of incidents that happened, and a couple of people came forth, as we always request. Come through, say what come through and state what your grievance may be and all of that. Good morning, Kiachile. So we have heard you, and we would like to also give you guys an opportunity, even if you're not part of yesterday's show, come through and give suggestions, maybe something that you feel we are not doing good or great in that we could be. Sometimes it might be difficult to see your own potential, but it's seen by other people, right? So maybe you see something that we could be able to double down on, and it will make the show even greater. some things that maybe we can cut them off altogether, tone them down, and all of that, so that we can get all the suggestions. I'm already seeing Senzonkosi saying suggestion, have our own version of Ask a Man segment. Okay, noted. You must come through to the panel and tell us what's in your thoughts. So that is basically that. So if you have any suggestion, something, and don't feel shy, threatened to speak anything that you would like. But as we do, we always try and keep everything respectful, and also to maybe to avoid the back and forth and making it a personal thing. We can maybe just, if you want to talk about the team at Makoya, you can just say Makoya. If you want to talk about listeners, you can say listeners, or participants or other family members, just so that also people don't get offended, because we don't know. You might make an example about someone and they're like, why so that is basically that. So come through, guys. Subs and Leroy, please help me with the comments, maybe screenshot the advices that are given on the comments or suggestions that are given on the comments, and then we continue. So some things we might be able to do, some things we might not be able to do. Some things might be difficult for us to do, but we might give it a try. So it's just about also working together in terms of making sure that the show continues, because we understand that for some of you, this time slot has become an important part of your day, and we would not want that to change, not because you're part of us, but also because if it's an important part of your day, it means it's making some kind of a change in your life. So we don't want you to lose that value, and in the nature of these things, we do understand people come and go. We have lost a lot of people that we would not have loved to, but people come and go, different seasons of their lives. Sometimes TikTok becomes a little bit too addictive, so people take a break, all of that. So that is what I would like to say. And maybe let me start from Wanateke. Do you have anything that you would like to say to this family meeting?
Not much, but I'll just be listening. Because izolo nami I think ngifike go late, so I couldn't figure out what was really happening. But yeah, I'll just listen.
All right, not a problem. Thank you so much, Pumpkin. Pumpkiny.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Mama. How are you?
Good day.
Can you guys allow
Not
me to go
much.
make tea while we are talking? Yes, come through, Pumpkin.
Yeah, so I wanted to say, like, guys, if we can maybe, sometimes when we are recruiting, like for instance, with me, I know Uti by December or November, the company like would recruit a lot of people for the following year. Just allow us like a little bit of time when the life starts to share that information with people who are looking for jobs, and then whoever wants to apply, then they can apply. I want to plug in it for imisebenzi pay and not only focus on umjolo. So if there's anyone who needs to plug someone with a job, just allow them like maybe 5 minutes on the platform to come in and then talk about that, and then we say this. I would really love that.
Idea actually. But again, but then like yesterday, but then we spoke about the culture, so now but then happen like next but again, yeah, like I'm gonna do that actually. Born 100%. So it's just pumpkin.
Yeah, just to add on what Leroy.
Yes, come through, subs.
Sorry, Papi, I thought you were making tea. Yeah, just to add, when I know on what Uliroy is saying, definitely, I also think that is a great idea. And also, what we can do as well, if I think it's something that we already do, but we will do it in passing, when when we know that Unono has a business and maybe you're about to speak, yeah, but then we'll mention it. But also, if like someone has a little business that they would like us to maybe not advertise necessarily, but to say, come through, tell us, what do you do, what is your business, where are you situated, how can people find you on social platforms or physically, where are you based, blah blah blah. And that too, we can do that. I think that is a great idea.
100%, man. Like let's just put each other on, perfect. Aware. So KG.
Right, and I think maybe, I don't know, we could dedicate certain days for it, so that we know that up Tuesday,
On a Tuesday,
Wednesday,
then,
whatever day it is.
yeah,
Yeah, so that we know that on Tuesday, then whoever has whatever business idea come through, whoever has something about a job plug come through, but also because also job opportunities are time sensitive, you can, just write on the comments, I have a job plug that I would like to say on the day, and then we come to give you that opportunity and state it up. So I think that will be great. Thank you so much, Pumpkin. Continue there, please, Subs.
Tenacious Tuesday. Yeah.
no, she says that we can call them Tenacious Tuesdays when people come and advertise their businesses, or if maybe I work for whatever company and my company is employing, I can just come through and say, guys, my company is looking for a marketing guy, whatever, and then yeah, that.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, cool. All right.
Thank you so much. No,
Sorry,
no,
baby. I
forgive
get
me,
this call.
forgivenly, that's okay. Pumpkin, no, I mean, I will keep calling you no, because you are no to me, you're not Pumpkin.
No, that's fine.
Thank you so super much for your suggestion.
Okay, okay.
That helps a lot.
Pleasure.
And then, guys, please come through. Come through. Okay, Kogetso mentioned that I think Kagiso, I will need you for that one. So Cooper's comment was that, can we do research a topic before we come in and present it to you guys? I'm not sure if anyone feels the same as Kogetso. I mean Makupe. If there's anyone else that feels the same with Umakupe, but that is noted definitely. And I mean, it would make sense for us to even speak about something that we understand, or if I bring a topic for you guys to you guys, and then if at all there's, no one or anyone that really understands it better, I mean, I should be in a better position to explain to you what it is, and all of that. So that is noted, Makupe. We will make sure it is put down on our books.
100%. 100%.
KG.
Righty. Yeah, no, definitely on the research part, I definitely hear that. And in the same breath, I would like to say that sometimes the topics themselves. Okay, maybe let me give you a bit of my view of how Makoya serves me, right? That I would hear a topic, or I'll bring a topic, not because also I have thought about it or I have seen it, but I also want to hear people's opinion. I would like to be educated on the topic at hand. So, in these particular topics, I would usually play a facilitating role and not so much a commentary role, right? So I won't come in and be like, guys, this is the topic. And you guys know the wording that I will always use is come at it with any direction that you understand it. Because some topics are too broad and perhaps I might not have thought about it or covered a certain element of it, right? So that you guys can also come in and educate. And that's another element of it, that we are not coming in as experts. And by nature of that, you can come in and be like, no, but by, especially when it comes to definitions, and I've heard this a lot from Makupe and Bonginkosi in the past lives, to say, but we are redefining something. It is defined as this and all of that. So maybe we can do it in that way, where we say, okay, as per the dictionary definition, this is what this thing is, right? But is there any other room or any other perspective that people know it in? Then we can go at that point. So I think definitions, definitely we can put them in. Research definitely needs to be done. But even when it's not done, because let me give you what happens sometimes in the back rooms, that I would need to, let's say it's a day where I'm supposed to be hosting, but I'm not available. The show will still continue. And the topic that was perhaps ascribed to me, that I might have done research on, or whatever the case may be, all of a sudden I can't come through. So Leroy might come through and then facilitate the discussion. That does not mean he would be an expert in that. So sometimes those things do happen. And also, just from the aspect of time, sometimes we are all doing our own different jobs, just as you guys do, and we still try and make time for this. So sometimes it does happen where, unfortunately, we did not have the opportunity to do research, but the topic is there, it's good enough, we come through with it, and we can also learn from it. You get what I mean? So I think that is sometimes what happens, and I do appreciate that. We definitely need to do a bit of research, and maybe what we can do is, if the host of the day does not know the topic, has not done research, then it's stated from the beginning, and then you guys come in and he's just now the facilitator, he or she's just the facilitator, then you guys can have the discussion, because like I said, we are not experts. We also want you to come in as an expert and give us this. And we know already as it is that when it comes to, for example, traditional matters, this person seems to know a bit more. When it comes to social injustice, this person seems to know more. When it comes to this person seems to know more. So that is what I would also like for you guys to view it as, not just to say that as a host, I'm coming in as an expert. So that's just the grace that I would like to do. So Makupe, I don't mean in-depth research, but a person must know what we are talking about so as to facilitate. I agree. Definitely that will be the case. And, there would be some topics, and I know personally for me, there are some topics that I've had to deal with, or rather assigned to me, and I was like, I don't know much about this topic, or perhaps this topic maybe does not necessarily align with my beliefs, and I feel like I won't do justice to it, and I might be biased in terms of this, so I may not necessarily do the topic and ask someone else to do the topic. So sometimes we do that, but also that's not fully possible. But definitely doing the research as minimum as possible, that will be the thing that we'll need to do. And definitions have to come into play, and maybe we then set a flow and understanding at the beginning of the topic to say, this is what we're talking about, this is what now we establish it means, now let's have the conversation. Is that something that we can agree on? Let me just Siva says discussion on some good short courses too. Please explain, Siva. I'm currently studying through Coursera. They have great courses. Okay. Abutubong Ngosi, come through, sir.
Ah,
Leroy, please mute. Abuti, what's up?
Yes, yes, ke sharp.
Good stuff. Come through.
Na ke tlile ka taba ya taxation.
Yeah, Inge?
Ya taxation. Ke tlile ka taba ya taxation.
Okay.
Eh, I don't know if people are aware, but the SARS window is opened from the 15th of July to the 21st of October 2024. So I know a lot of people, they struggle with understanding how much tax they owe and how to file their returns and stuff like that. So um, I know for most people they've been auto assessed already. So Palisa, if guys, if you haven't received any refund as yet, um for auto assessment, please, you're not gonna get anything anymore. That process ran from the 1st of July up until the 14th of July. So people that were auto assessed, they got their money within 72 hours of getting auto assessed. So now it's only the people who are not auto assessed to file their returns and do their things. So guys, please, now I'm just here to encourage people. Please file your returns, and guys, please stop. You see this thing, I've been seeing a trend here on TikTok and also on Facebook where people will come and say, you know what, let me help you with filing your returns. And these individuals, most of them, they work for SARS. They will come and file the returns on behalf of you and do some tricky things there, and you end up getting a refund that you don't even deserve to get. Please trust me, SARS does their audit now and then. You don't want to be one of the people who are selected for an audit out of 1,000 people that committed that a crime. So please, please, please avoid trying to get refunds for things that you don't deserve, because then if SARS comes back, you're gonna owe SARS the money that you should have paid them, but there's also going to be a penalty. But now there's going to be a fraudulent case against you. So please. And also those who are auto assessed. I know a lot of people, Baba Berekang, they are auto assessed. They've received their refunds. It's in the taxpayers' what can I say? It's in the taxpayer's responsibility to then go back and compare their IRP5 to the income tax certificate that you get from SARS on your auto assessment. It's in your responsibility to go back, compare line by line, because what happens is your employer at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of your financial year, they will do a what we call an estimate for you, right? They will do an estimate and submit that to SARS. Then SARS has that thing on you, on your profile. So the income tax certificate that you get on your auto assessment is based on what your employer has submitted. But we know that circumstances might change during the year. It might happen that you paid more on your medical aid. There were things that were qualifying expenses that you couldn't claim from your medical aid. Maybe you added someone on your medical aid, or you removed someone on your medical aid, and your employer is not aware of those things. Or maybe you have something else on the side. You are renting a room you are letting someone stay in your house, they're giving you money and stuff like that, you are making other forms of income. Your employer is not aware of that, so your auto assessment in essence is incorrect, because then SARS relies on the information that they get from your employer for people who are auto assessed, right, with no complexities whatsoever. So yeah, please don't rely on don't get too comfortable with being auto assessed. Know your things, go back to your employer, ask for IAPRO 5, do the comparison, and yeah, and submit, guys, submit. File your returns before the 21st October, please.
Thank you, Bonginkosi. Please come back on Tuesday, because now there are questions, and these questions will be answered on Tuesday.
Thank you so much.
let's have the full blown conversation on Tuesday. And yeah, I know Palisa is coming for that right now. So so yeah. But before Bonginkosi you go, do you want to state your queries or not queries, grievances out of yesterday's show? Bonginkosi? All right. Maybe
What?
something it is there.
Sorry?
Yes, I was saying, do you have, would you like to state any of grievances from yesterday's show? Because I know you were part of it. Anna, this is a family meeting.
He was late.
I don't know.
What you
I can't hear Bonginkosi.
He was late for the class. He doesn't know what you're talking about.
Yo, Bongs.
I can't. Bonginkosi, we can't hear you. Okay, maybe step down and come back. I don't know. Your network.
But
No, it's fine. If you don't want to say anything, also you feel free not to. If you don't want to say it, you want to say it privately, that's still fine. Bonginkosi, we are struggling to hear you, kind sir. Struggling to hear you. All right, please mute so long or step down and come back up. And then, yes, Leroy? Okay, cool. Come back, Bonginkosi, and then yeah, we'll take it there. Pali, come through, ma'am.
Morning, guys. Morning.
How are you?
I've missed you so much, but
We have missed you. Are you okay?
I'm good. I'm getting there. I've been away, so work is hectic. I'm trying to catch up. It's not that easy. Today I'm just having a break because by Lady Mandela Day, I'm like, oh, I can get a break. But
Okay, that's good.
but I've missed you.
Lerato le reng santsane le tuka.
Bona, hey. I would like him to come and meet the guys.
Popo.
Yes. No, but yes, I just came up for Bongos, but anyway, then I'll catch him next week Tuesday. And I just want to say I've missed you to just my greetings.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you so much, Mama.
Thank you.
All right, cool. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see if Bonginkosi is back. Okay, dokes. Okay, so people who want the backstory of yesterday, I can't really give much of the backstory, but what I will then, just to summarize, is that we were hosting a show. And there was a topic at hand. So discussions were had on the topic, and there was a case of one misunderstanding each other or missing each other. And there was a case of, how would I put it? Perhaps not understanding the topic itself from Makoya's side. So then with that, there was statements that were taken as perhaps racial slurs or inappropriate according to the rules that we usually have to say. Let's not do any name calling. Let's not bash people and whatever. But because the nature of the topic was racial in nature, so some lines were crossed, or perceived to have been crossed, and perhaps they were not crossed. So there was just that commotion that happened, and as a result, some people got muted, and they also felt like they were not treated unfairly. They were not treated fairly because, let's say, for example, I said an insensitive thing, for example, and I got reprimanded. Someone else said an insensitive thing too, but it was let slide. So it looked like there was favoritism and whatnot. So that is basically the nutshell of what has happened. And people came through and said, I did not like what happened yesterday. I felt unfairly treated, and there was this, there was that. So people raised their issues, and because there was quite a number of people who raised their concerns, we felt then it is good that we have a family meeting, right? So that we don't have any situation like that happening again, so that we understand how we will engage with each other going forward, and whether some of the rules that we have are actually serving us or they're actually creating a problem, so that we also can learn and we move forward. So that is basically that. I hope I was clear to the people who asked the questions. Are you satisfied? Okay, thank you for that. Abutibongi Ngosi, is your line okay now?
Yeah, I think it is. Now. Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
Abutibongi. All I can
Come through.
say now is I think it's very important for the facilitators or the people who set topics to sort of give the facilitators a background on the topics, right? And let them understand how deep the topic can go. Right? I don't want to say we must avoid political questions. Courageous conversations must be had. We must teach ourselves to engage in those conversations, but respectfully, right? We cannot ignore topics because they involve race. We need to have those discussions, but in a respectful manner. So Nakeri, we need more topics like that because these are the things that affect us on a daily basis, right? But we also need to understand, like I would love to encourage people to read more, particularly on issues that affect Black women. Please read more because people sound like, I don't know how they sound like, but when they come on a live and we are talking about sensitive topics and they make comments on things that they don't even understand, then we don't feel okay engaging on that. You understand? People must read more. If we're going to talk about hair, please go read about the history of hair. If we're going to talk about skin color, please go read on that before you come and make a comment on what you just saw on television. Please, let's read. Let's read. That's what I'm going to say. Let's read.
Agreed. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bangingosi. And I want to say that with with the element of, let me put it this way. So there is a burden that comes with knowledge. And I think people who possess knowledge also need to be aware of this burden. Because you know better the topic better than someone else, you inevitably have the burden to be, for lack of a better word, graceful? No, patient. Patient to people who may not have done the study that you have done. And it may also perceive, I'm just using the example that you stated, Nabongingos. It may be perceived as that someone comes to the panel or makes a comment about a topic of hair, and it appears that they don't know what they're talking about. But perhaps that the level of the knowledge that they have, to them, it could be that they feel like they know what they know, right? So that's where, for me, I would put it as a burden to say that then we need to be aware that if someone, you notice that someone says something and it might be either misguided or has lack of context or whatever the case, the best way I have seen, or at least the way I do it, is I probe into the comment of the person. Oh, I just read you said this. Please elaborate further. What do you mean by that? They explain. Ah, okay. Then I'm beginning to, it begins to be clearer to me where this person is coming from and perhaps where they are lacking in their comment on the particular topic. Then unfortunately, and I know in this generation we have problems with teaching adults. We say you can't teach adults how to do this and this and that. But unfortunately, at that point in time, it becomes a burden for you to educate the person further, to say that this is the reason why I feel your comment falls short. This is what the history is. This is what this thing is. And this is that. Therefore, it becomes the person who's being educated their responsibility to then acknowledge that, oh, perhaps I was lacking in my comment. Then I must assume an attitude of learning so that I can then receive new information and say, okay, let me reserve my comment, let me learn a bit more and see, perhaps then I might make a more educated opinion. All right. So that would, for me, be a wonderful engagement to have where we are all learning. Some people always come here and they say, yes, in me, I've just come to listen because, man, I don't know much about this thing and whatnot. And I know that is also genuine, but sometimes also it comes from a point of fear because you don't want to make misguided statements. But I also say that it takes courage for you to do that so that it can be clear that you are lacking in one thing and there's an opportunity for someone else to also educate you. So I'll stop it there for now. That's just the thing that I think maybe that's how we can have, as I think it was Kahile saying how we should learn to have these conversations, these difficult conversations, so that we can learn. Even sometimes they are quite emotional in itself. Sometimes people are more passionate and it might be misconstrued as the person is being rude or being whatever the case because they're just being passionate about it. Excuse me. So that is that. I will stop it here for now while I read the comments. I don't know if Bongingos, you wanted to respond to that, or should I give to Mpo to come in?
I would KG. I
Yes, sir.
totally understand. I totally understand. And I'm also reading the comments, and I think when I say people must read up, people assume that I'm saying that other people's point of view comes from a lack of not reading.
Yeah.
That's what I don't mean hori, but who don't read. Like really, they don't read, but I encourage people to read. Let me just make an example. If we're gonna come here about KG and we talk about sexual assault, right? And when you come here and you tell me, Hori, the reason why there's sexual assault, it's because women wear miniskirts. then that tells me you don't understand. You don't understand anything about sexual assault. It's not a matter of you don't even read. It tells me you don't understand anything about sexual assault. Therefore, I'm encouraging you to go and read more on sexual assault and how sexual assault comes about. It has nothing to do with what the woman is wearing or what someone else is wearing. Because we've seen even in countries where people bavela ngamehlo kuphela ngisho, they are wearing clothes umzimba wonke kuvela amehlo kuphela, but there's still cases of sexual assault there. So that's what I mean. People must read more on topics. Thank you.
Okay. All right. No, I hear you. And also, maybe this is an opportunity also to speak about the words that we use, right? Unfortunately, we can't control this element, but we don't know how people perceive the words that we use. To you, it might just be a simple word that you understand and you expect others to have understood, but someone else, that word might trigger something or whatever the case, or they understand it totally different from you. So, for example, when you say that, when someone says you're wearing a miniskirt or whatever, therefore this is why this happened, and that opinion tells you that they don't know nothing about sexual assault. That in itself, for example, I could take it as you say, when you say I don't know nothing, you're basically saying "Nkulumo dot." That's how I'm hearing you, right? But I don't think that is true, that I don't know nothing about sexual assault. Perhaps what I know might be misguided. Perhaps what I know might be out of experience. Perhaps what I know might be out of my surroundings, right? And I might not have read the thing. However, that does not then mean that what I know, or at least what I think I know, is nothing. All right. So the certain words that we say may trigger something else in someone, and therefore that's where issues comes in. So, but however, if you say, I understand what you mean by that, but that is not a valid comment, because a child who is 2 years old has nothing to do about miniskirts or whatnot, yet they experience the very same thing. So how do we reason that miniskirt then results in this? So you are challenging the opinion of the person, and perhaps from that they can learn to be like, oh, perhaps actually what you're saying makes sense. So it's a matter of guiding. And even when you go tell someone, go read more, maybe it might also be productive that you say, go read this book about this, go read this article about this. This will give you a bit more information about this thing, so that you can understand and interrogate your own thoughts about it. So this is just an example of how words can easily be received how you were not intending. Makupe, now I understand. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. These terms. So that is basically my example of it, Bongingosi. But let me, while I'm reading the comments, give Mpo an opportunity to come through.
Good morning, fam. Good morning, fam. So yesterday, I left because things were getting heated. So I was like, let me leave.
Yeah.
But I know myself. I can be very offensive sometimes.
Okay.
But firstly, I want to commend you and Leroy firstly for how you guys host the live sessions. And for me personally, I've never experienced either you or Leroy having favoritism. I've seen in most moments where, somebody says something and, you would be like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know. Even Leroy says it a lot, or he would ask a question, or I would receive, and Leroy's always gives these facial expressions because you can't give it away, or sometimes on one hour Google what does this mean, And
Yeah.
that for me, that says, there's no pride in how you guys host it. It's not Retsebatsohle, but we're here to 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 have conversations, with like-minded people who are saying that we we don't know everything, but there's somebody who knows more than me. Let me learn. You know, and time again, even Linda, in areas where I felt like I know my stuff. Somebody comes and they're like, Mpo, but you're wrong here. I'm like, okay, I'm learning. But I don't defend what I said because I think the danger with having hard conversations, and there's danger and there's also fruit in it, which is almost the same, is that not everybody is teachable. That's the first thing. And not everybody can teach, because there's some people who stand by what they believe no matter what happens. Ke la ka leo, I'm gonna stand by it no matter what you say. I'm not gonna change my mind. And then it's not teachable. Then you can literally have a back and forth conversation, and it will not go anywhere. Then you've got people who, when they're supposed to be teaching something which they are well versed in, they talk down on people. It's like, I'm telling you have to listen to me, based on maybe their social circles, or that's how they are. People are always listening to them. They never listen to anybody else. It's same thing as a leader of a cult. They never want to listen. So all I'm saying is, yesterday had to happen so that we get to hear. you know if yesterday didn't happen, then we would not have this conversation of saying, guys, look, we're all here to learn, we're all here to grow, also to build relationships. That's also another great thing. We're also here to build great relationships. So through it all, we need to constantly be looking in the mirror. When we come onto lives, let's come with a mind of, okay, what can I teach and what can I learn? And also, what can I unlearn? Because not every single thing that we have in our heads is right. Because Rena is about to go, fella, we are an accumulation of multiple influences. Every single thing that we see, we listen, influences us some way, somehow, and our knowledge. So I just wanna I commend you guys for how you host. And if 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 let's say something is off, it's on shapo. Vele ke shapa a message da kar AKG, or when ko shapa ka private message ka KG mara mola da fanaka. you know so even with Leroy, I'll do to I'm like, if it's bona prayaka, 1 2 3, and then but I do commend you guys. And yeah, let's keep growing, guys. Let's keep growing. Let's continue offending each other so that we grow and learn how to not be offended. And there's a disclaimer every time whenever we're on Magoya, so people should not forget that.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Ke phase ke to motlogolo wa ka ka mo Makhuba. Motlogolo mo o kae na?
Thobela malume.
Le kae na?
Re gona re ka ra lena.
Re tsohile man.
Thank you.
Before you continue, Makupe, let me just address or state something on the comments there. So, Mpongana brought another thing that I would like us to then talk about also, the concept of name calling and labeling, name calling and labeling. People, or things is a different thing, but people, particularly people. And I will make an example a bit later on that, because sometimes we do it and we are not aware, because it's almost like woven in the speech that we have as South Africans generally. But such words still remain labeling, and they are derogatory, I hope I said it correctly, in nature. It's no different than saying the K word to a black person type of a thing. So we will also touch on that a bit. Makupe, come to you, Mama. And Botavia, sorry, Makupe, Botavia, they've missed a lot and whatnot. But what we saying is out of yesterday, and it's not just yesterday's live, by the way. There's been some lives that have been pointed out where we are saying, Hore, sometimes how I as a host might handle a topic and also how I would handle the facilitation of the topic, it might offend you. And as a result, you might just be like, "Aksatla Mama Koya," anyway, right? But we encourage you rather to come and state your case so that we can also learn and grow in terms of that and apologize where it's needed and correct where it's needed. I think more than anything, the correction is it's more important. So that is basically what happened. There are no tires that were burnt yesterday. So yeah, that's it. Makupe come through.
No, go na le mob justice. Since
Yeah.
ngikongeke tu. So there's something that you were saying about Hore, how we should talk, and you're suggesting how we should address and tackle issues, right? Now I think that's where, like, as a facilitator, you come in, because especially if we are speaking about dilo that are passionate and can bring up maswafu about. Yes, I would love to stay within the lines and not get my high blood pressure up. But when that happens, then you come in and maybe remind me, now you're straying. Abo. What you're saying is maybe can be viewed this way and abo. Because fact is, Rebatu, if we are talking about a controversial topic like race and gender and things like that, emotions can get high. And that's where you as a facilitator then come and utola nto, because another thing that I think we should be cognizant of is that we don't all articulate ourselves the same. And I think, Lina, sometimes I am guilty of that. Just because now I can have a thought and be able to articulate it clearly, the next person should be able to do that as well. And aretwane as batho, wabo. So if that happens, then maybe I do need like tone policing. I'm guilty of that. And I can say it, especially if something like that I'm really passionate about, and it's not something that I'm cognizant of until somebody comes back and is like, please, wa ikutlwa gore o bolela bjang, or dilo tse bjalo. Then I come back down to earth and I engage with the topic again. Right? So yes, there's a difference between disagreeing with someone and disrespecting them. If you don't want us to be labeling you, and I make sure that I don't label people when I talk. I try my very best. I'm not perfect. I'm not the authority with labeling people, but I try my very best. But if you are going to come and call me names after you said we mustn't call people names, it's going to be a problem. And I can take it to hell. And it's not something that I'm priding myself, Kayona, but it's something that just happens. That's how I defend myself. So I think ke yona ntho eo ya gore, and ntho nngwe e tlo etsang gore as a facilitator abuti KG o kgone go re busa when we are straying is to know what we are engaging about. So if you don't know what the color red is and what it's made up of, when I start talking about black, you won't be able to bring me back. Understand? I'm not saying go and do a doctorate and be an expert on the subject, but at least have a feel of what we are talking about, so that when we stray, you are the one that is able to bring us back. Right? And then another thing, this is my closing thing. Another thing
We are fully aware gore mo ke ko Makoya rundown. We know that when I came on this account, I knew that Kiago Makoya rundown. I don't need to be reminded that when I disagree with you, this is Makoya rundown. I need to agree with you or I'm out. I want to be comfortable in expressing myself. And if I can't do that, I'm going to have a gun to my head when I express myself. Well, ke ga KG mo, so I must watch what I say. I must only agree with him. Then I personally, I can't stomach that. And yes, there are things that every single one of us here believe it, whether gore motho o mong o reng. This is my stance on gore the color red is my favorite. Nobody can convince me otherwise, but I can respectfully listen to your views and we can engage on that. We already know that we have opposing views. We can engage on that, but there's no need for you to be calling me a victim or whatever, labeling me because I have a different view from yours, because Linna, I've got opinions about your view and what I think of you as well. So, yeah.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, Makupe. Well hit. Gahile is spitting bars today. Every single text of hers is just in J, hitting. I see you, ma'am. Makupe. So,
Now,
o dula o stressa ke re wa itse. You know this. This is just what it is. I should have put you last in J, yabo. But well said. I want to. You asked earlier on that we should state the rules, and I think also it might help if we do this. I'll make an example. Some of you might not know this particular example, or some of you might know. So, those of you who have come across our lives with, I'm gonna name a couple of people that have come to our lives: Precious, Sisnoms, who else? Let me use these two for example. By nature of how they speak and how they are passionate about what they say, necessitates, particularly for me, because most of the times it would happen when I'm hosting, I've had to then have an agreement with them, because this is you and this is who you are. And for us to continue having nice things, I'm gonna, for example, sis Noms, I would cut her, like either mute her or be like, whoa, sis Noms, whoa. Because either way, if I don't, she will continue, right? Precious, for example, I'll be like, Precious, I'm a bill, So it would be that thing where, because it is you, and this is how we are, and we understand you, and we love you just like that, there will be a way that if I was to cut someone the way I used to cut sis Noms, someone could be offended. But sis Noms understood, or now I can speak, so this is how, we do protocol in terms of making sure that at least everyone gets an opportunity. This is just an example that I'm making. So there are different characters that come, onto our platform, and we learn them, we begin to know you, and there's a way that we move across in terms of that. So I'll make an example with you, Makupe. When you get passionate, you forget that there are other people who are speaking here, and you will come in and speak, right? So in terms of that, I need to have an agreement with you. I will stop you. It might look rude to someone else, but because me and you have that understanding and agreement, Kuti, we need to do things in that particular way, right? So we need to find that thing, And I would say, in this case, as Makoya, we kind of forget and let things go. And when new people come in, we don't come with the rules again. So apologies for that. So, for example, Mpanyana, Brampo, we have tried the timer situation, and it's a struggle, particularly for me as a host. Leroy is great at timer. He will tell you this is this. If you're then yet. For me, I like giving people an opportunity to express themselves, and I like to go deeper into those opinions that they got in. So sometimes it looks like I've given someone else 2, 3, 5 minutes, and then another person I say, okay, you only have 1 minute. It is unfair, yes, but it can happen to anyone, and that's what facilitates. That's just unfortunately how I'm able to facilitate conversations. And for me, it's not about how many turns you have gotten in you speaking on the panel or whatever the case, but it's how much content and rich information we can get. Sometimes we only get that from one person in an entire life. So most likely I'll give that person a bit more time than everyone else. So there will be a nature. So take it as your day will come. You get what I mean? So that is that. So I think more than the rules and everything else, also learn us. Definitely, I don't know how we do a timer on the screen, but maybe we'll get there. So learn us, see how we do it, and be like, okay, KG, he's like this, so I need to engage him this way. Leroy is like this, I need to engage him this way. There's just that, just because we are people, we have to find a way in that particular manner. But we will definitely we will definitely try and come in this. Bonginkosi, we see you, sir. Come back on Tuesday again. So that is what I wanted to say in terms of that. Now, before I give Sabrina, when can we have an understanding that if I mute you when you're talking, it's just a tool that I have to say stop, then I will say whatever, and then if I give you an opportunity, I'm going to give you that other. Can we agree that in as much as that may be seen as rude, but that's sometimes, it's not every time that we might implore that. Maybe there's a back and forth that is happening between 2 or 3 people. Instead of me saying, ha, 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 mute all of you, and then we try again. This is just a way that we can do things type of a thing. So I think if we have an understanding that nothing is personal, because we also need to do production on our end, right? Nothing is personal, but if Vele, you do take it personal, please also just be like, Yazin, I understand you're doing this, but me, I'm particular. Can we try a different approach? Then we can try. That is guaranteed. And also, I will know that when it comes to Makupe, perhaps I don't handle her this way because she's like this. You get what I'm saying? So that is that. So let's try and give people one opportunity to speak. If you have spoken a couple of times, we might skip you so that we let other people speak. 2, the issue of... No, let me not go here. Sabrina, come through because I'm going to speak for another 10 minutes. Come through, Sabrina. Then I will
I
continue.
don't mind because Okalebala, actually, you can finish speaking, then I will speak.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay, thank you so much. All right. So with the concept of name calling, there is, these are just the fresh ones that I think came out of yesterday's live. Clever blacks, I think Abutidini, I forgot what he said, black whites or white blacks, white blacks. I guess in this context also victims, which is quite funny, but victims, so this is an example of labeling and name calling. We understand what is, it is there to give context of what a person means by clever blacks. but in itself also it was termed to insult, or yeah, hokala, people by calling them clever blacks. If I have studied, if I have done whatever that you deem to be you calling me a clever black, how does that begin a thing? So I think we just need to be careful of such things, find a way of how to express certain things without name calling, or be also do say that, you know what, I can't find an exact word, but for understanding's sake, this is the word that I want to use. But this is the case, right? So that would be my submission to you. And there's I think feminist also has become a term that is used as labeling and name calling, because it's said to be saying, these feminists. The moment you just say, these feminists are a problem or whatever the case may be, you are labeling people because of a particular idea that you have or out of an irritation that you have. And that is always clear, when it's being said and all of that. So I think let's find a way to use proper words without demeaning anyone, without insulting anyone, without provoking, because sometimes we say things as a need to provoke something. I always say that even if someone has said something stupid, don't now insult the person because of that. And sometimes we insult in a very well constructed English sentence. It's still an insult, but we know that you're doing it in that manner. So let's just try and learn how not to do that. And yeah, we can do so going forward. About Dean, we are just having a family meeting, so do come through. So I wanted to read some points. I think while I'm reading that, Sabrina, do come through.
But are you going to read out loud? Can I get go invade Anna?
No, I'm just reading so that I can know what I'm talking about next. So come through, Mama. Don't worry.
Okay. Dumelang everybody, good afternoon. You
Hello,
know
hi.
what? Well done. A ke itse mafoko a mangwe a Sekgowa a haredisang mekgwa e siameng. Wa ntlhaloganya? You know what? The first time I received an invite, I had studied how you engage. I won't mention names because that's free promo, right? I had actually heard how you engage on a certain live, and I followed you immediately. And I wasn't aware that you actually had this. And then I started listening in. Rules of engagement are very important. For me, lack of a better word, it's like, I know I want to engage in this topic. Think of it as going to war. Do you have the right tools? If in front of you, am I on the same level to actually be engaging in this, or 5 cent na, there's certain statements that if a person was to write it out, it would be better than them having to say it, So having house rules and also accelerating your moderators' roles would be something that I would like to suggest you look into. But of course, that would be navigated by the house rules. Articulation is something that we must all understand something happening. We come from different environments, different backgrounds, and generally as individuals that get together here, we are different. Respect is a common language throughout, wherever you go. Kindness, it's also something that I do believe is generally something that should be practiced. So people should not also be oppressed in coming out in terms of their character. There's certain panelists that have strengths when it comes to engaging. They should not be deprived in coming out. There's certain new people that also jump onto a wagon. It would be great if they were taught hore mona ha o jumpe hare mo separapareng miskat ho na le di steps wa namela hantle You see your seat, you settle, and you wait for your turn to, you enjoy the ride and wait for your turn or your stop to get off. People will always come with the knowledge that they have received or wisdom that they've carried, guys. When it comes to research, I cannot fault you in terms of research. But I've got a formula based on the 5 pointers of a certain topic. You can have 5 pointers, but you can never prevent people from having opinions. We come from different areas, different experiences. Maybe people can present their opinions in an educating manner, not a demanding, now this is what I say, this is what is up, because that is not always the case. Things are always evolving, and people must be open to understanding the fact that they are evolutionary beings, right? You will come here to learn. Some people will come here to educate. Just know your role when it comes to that topic. I mean, topic all the time. Relate, don't relate, but be mature enough to understand that perhaps this is not for me. Let me just listen. Like in the last day, man, ke utlwelle, ke je di-popcorn ntando fetsa go laela gore ena mokgwa gage ka jeko o batla go utlwa gore go tlo go diragala eng. And some people went to schools tse leng gore 90% tsa bone ko ba bangwe ke 40%. Tlhompana re ka se tlo tellanang o ka re ra thuma. Some people have itse le go thuma le sa lebalang so se wa kere. But let's engage, guys. Let's have fun. I think within you guys' group, right, I found in like bona le botlhale le funny. Sarcasm also is something that people don't understand. But one see sarcasm as disrespect, and it's not. It's a lighter note of certain things, but just be be somebody that is willing to share and say on a lighter note, nang le di keywords, man. Sabrina, how we kitse hore wa lenda ngwana ka it's a the thing, yeah, guys. La itse hore sefofane se lenda go airport, then you guys know, oh gosh, she's about to bring what she brings best. Just, I think you guys can do it, man. Let's go to this number. I'm glad I missed the fight. Give you mamu ruti spot on musluna. Man, let's khuphisanang, man.
Thank you so much, Sabrina. But I think also the thing is, using the family analogy, it's a granted thing. We just now need to be able to have this type of conversation to then say, okay, where did we go wrong? How do we fix so that we can continue forward and, having a wonderful time. So that is definitely what we're trying to do.
You guys better get it right for our sake.
Repeat, please.
Down. You guys better get it right. I guess I tell you, ke batla go te family thubegile no, it can't work that way. Ra itse mekgwa di family, guys, go itshwarelaniwa, we move together. All right,
Exactly.
we move as leloko because some people don't have this in their personal spaces. Ara sa senyang, please, I beg yours. Let's say
Thank you so much, Sabrina. Thank you so much. King Kutuma to swim, guys. So sad.
And I'm not
And I'm not All right, so that is basically that. Thank you for that submission, Sabrina. And okay, so so then let's continue with subs come through. Sabelo. All right, so I'm lost in translation. Okay, Abuddin, since you came a bit late, we're just like I said, having a family meeting, also engaging about, or prompted rather, by yesterday's live, and there were some people who were offended, and some things that were not done according to the liking of others, and we're just having that conversation so that we can continue smoother tomorrow. So Mpongana spoke about bullying. Bring in context. I also don't want it to be general about it, but also there's an element of bullying. I don't know which example. No example comes to mind, but I think also the bullying always somewhat manifests itself in name calling. Like Ubonginkosi said, hore, but people by meetable book smart, or something like that. Or calling people bullies. Okay, great. So, it's a form of labeling. And I think if you're going to then call someone a bully, then you need to also qualify, what is this bullying type of a thing, because this is now an allegation type of a thing. So because sometimes, yes, you might identify there's a bullying thing and the person is not aware that they are bullying, which is often the case or an excuse that is given, so that we can be clear, or no, we will not tolerate this and this and that. All right, in Jabulo, what is the context of the story? So there's no story in Jabulo. We are having a family meeting, and laying rules of engagement, and talking about how we are going to engage with each other going forward. And I think I'm seeing you for the first time, so do come through and follow, and maybe given time we might have a topic today. So for now, just listen through, you will get a hint of what's going on. So Makupe says making fun of people's pronunciations. Okay, that's definitely it. We are not all good English speakers. My boy Motlasimona Wakokwaita, so he will have difficulty in expressing himself in a way that you would like. So that could now be misinterpreted, or said something, and maybe we may not have the patience type of a thing to then listen to him when he speaks type of a thing. So I think we just need to have botoboa, and let's not do these things of name callings and laughing at pronunciations and all of that. And you know what, there is, and we always say this, we joke in this life, and we also speak something serious and whatnot. Sometimes someone might make light of a situation or something that you have said, and it will just be a lighter thing. You may take offense in that. Please inbox the person and be like, I know you were making light of the situation and whatnot, but I did not like it. So that the person knows, okay, no, these are the type of jokes that don't land well with you, type of a thing. Makope says belittling people's cultures under the gaze of a joke. Yeah, I think the whole issue of joking, I said something and then you laugh at the end and like, I'm just joking type of a thing, just because you did not get the laugh that you're expecting. People tend to do that a lot. Yeah, it's something else. Subs, are you okay there? Can you come through?
I want to gaslight Makup. Why are you guys so sensitive suddenly?
You see, Savelo is now making light of the situation, and Makupa might not like it. Makupa, I give you permission to unmute and answer her back while I'm reading these comments.
I think ke nyaka go swabisa Satano is ke mo swabise. I know that sometimes he sends his agents to test us and shake us and move us. I am not biting. I am not gonna bite. This bait, I'm not biting it. Thank you, Sabelo. I'm so sorry for being sensitive, Siswam.
Don't be, you are not that person. Like, wait, I love how when Akiji, I love how all her comments come with a, and then someone will say this and this as a joke, and this and this, and everything in a joke at the end. Sometimes it's honestly just a joke, Nana. Just take a joke. It's a joke.
You know what, Sabelo, ne? And you should know this because you're also a passionate woman. We've had this conversation about the KG. You just find yourself living a life, yes, a disclaimer. We live in a time where anything you say, we're living on a minefield. Anything you say can take someone off. Anything you say can, no, I don't want to be called a tree. I want to be called a flower. So, repeal as a disclaimer. So yes, I think sometimes it's very important to read a room. Like if something is funny, 30 seconds. It's different to when we are talking about like racial issues and stuff and cultural issues. When we are being serious, we're not bulele nonsense. So also read the room, like to understand what's happening around you.
You know what I mean?
Noted, Makupe.
Because I'm always up for a good joke, but not if you're gonna live in a glass house, don't throw stones, because I will come with the bazooka, mama.
Okay, Ntate KG, you can continue. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sabzi. Dean, come through, sir.
Bantwana bamangoni sanibonani.
Sir.
Yezwe siyanibingelela nobuhle benu. Sithemba ukuthi ilanga lifudumele namhlanje. I'm afraid of one thing. Apologies. I'm afraid of one thing. We're gonna get to a space where we can't speak about anything, or express ourselves in our truest forms, because anything will then become an offense. I think yesterday's topic was meant to be like how yesterday's topic ended up. The level of hurt in some topics requires us to scratch the surface a bit, and unfortunately, if we do so, we are bound to have victims for the day, and that's how family is. There's always victims for the day. It's how Leroy will have a deep understanding of music or something that is within his career that Tina will find lightly because it affects us in no way or form. And whatever that we might say, it might offend him if we don't get the view that he comes with. It's how Bonkosi is passionate in his belief that he finds substantial understanding of it. And someone like me would then find a different view of it. And by me questioning it requires me to scratch the surfaces, that if there's a level of maturity to listening, and a level of maturity to making the other person hear also, there won't be any victims. But if the maturity is not there, the level of thought is not there, then you will see it as an attack. But it's just me asking a question. So I like how Sab said it. We shouldn't be too sensitive, but at the very same time, the aim should not to be to belittle each other or prove that one is smarter than the other, because then it doesn't help us in any way. But I just wanted to say, if I offended you before, I meant it. Thank you very much.
I knew Did was gonna say
Wow, that is
I knew.
wow, dude. Wow.
You guys,
Mfana
you guys,
bewuseza, mfana bewuseza, but yathi curve.
you
I
guys,
can't. I had to take the curve, guys. I'm sorry. I had to.
you guys are the same people. Nelimbuwe like it now when I said that's why ba movie ka hit and run. Ke tsona tse.
Isabelo, you like to bring a gun to a knife fight, man.
And it's a butter knife fight. It's not like a proper knife. It's a butter knife, a plastic one. Yes, I look like the tank, the bazooka. Guys, where do we complain? Okay, I want to complain also.
Don't be sensitive now. Don't
To
be
who
sensitive.
are we complaining? I know.
Don't
I'm
be
changing my mind.
sensitive.
Sicela i-suggestion box so that when abantu batshwanang le bo Dean ba latlhele ka mo suggestion boxing.
Let me read a comment here. Daphne says, we used to laugh, smile, learn. Now it's becoming tense. And you see, this is what also we don't like. I think, can we agree, all of us here, that the nature of our gathering has never and it will never be with an intention to insult you, to offend you, to belittle you, to do all of these things that would make you feel funky. That will never be the intention. But when it does happen, can you also have the room to say and put it on the table and be like, I do not like this and this and this for this particular reason, and this is the case, and we then work at doing that, right? So that is the case. And listen, I also understand the concept of reading the room. But there are people based on their character. Let me use Dean just now. Came in, spoke, and then he just dropped what he dropped there at the end, right? In an attempt to make light or to bring a laughter in the situation. That is the character. And I think we can just take that and move. But yeah, so that's just that. Makupe, I see your hand come through.
I would KG, in as much as we would love to like laugh and say funny things and stuff like that, we can also not shy away from the fact that if we are speaking about a sensitive topic, some people can like take it personally because it triggers certain memories or experiences, right?
Yeah.
And I think also suggestion e ke gatellang ke gore he rona re leng mo paneling and everything like that re ste maswafo kodimo a ke gane wena as a facilitator o na le di-opinions le di-views, but you must remain impartial. Because now wena o tlo kwata le wena and all of these things, then usthoma umuta batho and all of these, and it seems like you're doing it because I disagree with you, not because I'm being disruptive. I understand. So sometimes I don't dispute the fact that maybe I was disruptive and I was against the rules, but because when KG as the facilitator, you were passionately against my point. When you mute me, it seems like you are using your powers as the facilitator to get your point across in this argument. So that's why as a facilitator, you must be neutral, unfortunately.
All right. I take your point and I agree with it. Yet there's also the element of me being the facilitator that I want to be, not that you want me to be. There's also that room, because like I said, we are not all the same. For example, how I host, how Baragimang Leroy hosts, how Sabela hosts, different ways, right? And sometimes these things do get to where they get to, so we therefore can't. I said this jokingly to someone. I don't think I said it on the live. I said this jokingly to someone that we don't get paid to do this. And some of the things that, in as much as we want to make this as professional as it is, we don't get paid yet. And like I said, we also do other jobs that we are doing. By virtue of that, it makes it difficult sometimes to perfect things to a point where, this is great for everybody. So I think also sometimes let's take a loss when it's a loss, and we take it as that. But where we can grow and become better, I think we will also take that opportunity, So let it be a give or take type of a situation. For example, I in as much as I enjoy and I'm capable of handling difficult topics or emotional topics and whatever the case may be, that does not mean, and I will not allow it, that I'm only handling those topics alone. That won't happen. So there needs to also be, for me personally, room to deal with easy topics or whatever the case may be, depending also what I'm going through in my life at that time, at that point in time. I can't take certain emotional burdens type of a thing, and how I react to conversations and topics is not the same as how you react to them. So that would be the case. So there might be days where Leroy will have to do a topic that he himself also doesn't want to do. But because we are coming here for you guys, we are also asking for that grace, to then say, okay, we see it. So what we will come and try and do is, if I know, for example, now I'm a Christian, and those will always be my beliefs, and I stand by them. There are a lot of things that you guys say here that are in contradiction with what I believe in. And I'm always itching to come in and be like, la puta, man, this is what it is. But I can't at times, because I'm like, Yazin, to avoid this getting out of hand or me doing sites and whatnot, I reserve my comment. Also because this is not a Christian platform. Had it been a Christian platform, or we are having a Christian conversation, then I will fully on come in. So what we will try and do is that if Leroy says that or feels that this one I can't say much, about this thing, I will just come and facilitate, but also he has his own emotions that he might not be able to compose himself. Let also there be room for that, because also I don't want to come here and host and don't feel fulfilled doing it, because then I won't come, because now I'm also trying to please y'all and everything else. So let's also have a bit of that dance together, that we will lose in some point, you will also lose in some days. So that is basically it. And yes, Makupe, no need to clarify, ma'am. I fully understand what you say. And in me responding is not necessarily to respond word for word what you mean, or what you have texted. But however, I'm just pointing it across that let there also be room for me to make a mistake and learn from it, and for you to feel offended at how I've done it, and perhaps I will not even apologize or feel the need to apologize. Let there be that room where we disagree to disagree, or agree to disagree, however term it is. But I feel let that not be enough to now be like, yeah, akusazwakala, because of this thing. So I think let's just be on that, to be like, okay, no, sharp, this has happened, and we are, I think Mpo said this, we are building relations equally so outside of the platform, outside the live. Yes, you guys might get to learn a bit of who I am, to the degree that I allow you to. Or sometimes some people are very comfortable having a facade and you'll never know who they are inside. I don't know how people do things. However, there is those intricacies, and we won't win every single time. But let's also have that room to speak. Let's have open things about it, and we give and take. I hope that is a bit clear. I might have missed some hands that came through. Who raised the hand? Let them come up and say it.
It was only Dean.
Okay.
I want to say that Sekgothudi, I don't know if we can make space or if she can even come up. Kagile is Kagile, please make it to the top as a belief if you can. Please type if you can, and we can make some space for you. But she must not just chill in the comments, because she is giving a whole lot that we can really take in today, especially like with these emotions, So I really come and okay, no Kechi, sizamba suthi namhlanje. I haven't had breakfast, and I think by the time we end the live,
Kahile, please come through.
Okay. I will see her if she requests. So so that is basically that. So I guess let's have such an understanding, and we also can I make an example with someone who's not here? I was hoping he was going to be here, but I want to make an example with Serge. All of y'all know Abuti Serge mostly, and you know his commentary, his opinions, and all of that. Yet he's been with us from day one. And everyone who comes to this life and is new will always be initiated, and I call it initiation, by Sedge, right? The Sedge will always make you itch to respond to him, and once you are lured into that, you will continue until you're like, yeah, Zen, actually not worth it. Right. So these are the characters I love about you people who come to these lives, and there's room for everyone. So we just need to be accept each other for who we are, and learn each other and be able to be like, yes, in yeah, no, today I can't engage with, so I can't join the panel, Sabs. I would love to, but I can't. Okay, Kachile, we see you, mama. So there's that let's do it. And also, we don't want to have too many rules such that we are tippy-toeing, as people were saying here, like we are walking on eggshells. Sometimes I will forget there's a rule that I said is there. It will happen. But let's have wonderful conversations, knowing very well that even if I'm offended, even if something is said in a sideway thing, there's a disclaimer. Yes, so when these things happen, do know that it's never ever meant to attack you, never ever meant to do all the things that you're feeling. But we also don't want to dismiss your feelings about the thing. So we say, come through, let us know what is happening, and we will apologize where it needs to be, we will correct where it needs to be. If there's nothing that we will do, we will also let you know that we will not do anything about that particular thing. So that is basically it. Abutidin, you had raised your hand earlier on. Come through, sir.
Disclaimer and statement at the same time. Sorry, Seb, that you haven't eaten, but it's fine. God is good. I mean, for not for argument's sakes, but for the sake of truly understanding people. I think we know the kind of characters that each and every person is. We understand that KG is married, so his role is to be a father to us. And there's other married brothers that we have. We understand that I'm trying to think of married sisters, but I think they're here also.
You
I'm
just
not shooting
had to.
any
You
shots.
wanted to.
Don't bring your evilness to me, Sebs. Sebs, don't bring your evilness to me. I haven't shot anything. Right now, I'm still just butter knife. Huh? Do not
Yes,
do not
continue.
do not deprive us the experience of knowing you. I think one of the reason why KG made the last statement that he made, do not deprive, as much as we know that Bongosi is a firm believer in Christ. Limpo. Limpo. Firm believer in Christ. Married people. I think all the married men are just firm believers in Christ. Marriage itata, guys, it's very heavy. So you have to have a backup system. We know those people. We know Sabs is single. We know these things and do not deprive us by you acting out to be someone that you are not. We want to know that person. We want to experience that person. And it's all us finding how we coexist within the very same space. Because as much as we used to have fun and joke a lot and learn and experience, the conversations that allow us to be true to ourselves and true to each other are the ones where we have to actually take out the kindness, the garments, and be ruthless and be bold in our truth. And if we hide that, I find it amazing when Makupe stands her ground in whatever that she says, and she always has a gun to shoot at the end, just to make sure that you understand her point. Scary, but it happens. I like how, liking it or not, if Mponyana does not agree with you, she'll just disappear in her own space and be quiet. But you'll see on the comment section, she will make sure that you understand that she believes in what she believes in. It's how we understand each other that makes people that also come to this family see how we understand each other. You made an example, Saj. Saj doesn't care. Saj doesn't care. He doesn't care about anyone, Saj. But you understand that him not caring, it's not him hating you. It's him trying to make sure that his point is valid, and you try and see it in his eyes. And if you don't, he's the first person that will say, you know what, let's part in ways when it comes to this discussion, because clearly there's no peace in it. So rather me losing you as a friend or as a brother or as a sister, let's stop this conversation here and let's talk about other things. So I do want the experience of knowing our tantrums. Unfortunately, the conversations that we have, they call of such. They demand us of such. They demand us of showing our wrath side and our truthful side when it comes to personal things that we believe in. As a traditional black man, Zulu traditional black, I just had to say that, it's a must. As a traditional Zulu black man, you'll know me. There are things that I can never, seeing that the whole entire panel is going west. Ngiyiwan, I don't mind going east, and I'm at peace with that. I'm not causing havoc, but it's who I am. It's what I am, and it's what I believe in. So do not deny us the opportunity of knowing everyone's true self on the basis of being sensitive, being outrageous, being bullying, and being not respectful. We can lay our points and our true points and still be very respectful to each other and still be very kind to each other. And our topics, they will then echo out the hurt that we have. They will echo out the level of belief that we have. They will echo out is us speaking valued points that should echo out how emotional invested we are within those topics. And it shouldn't be us insulting each other that will then try and show how invested we are in those topics. I spoke like a married husband, man.
You're coming. You're there.
Mfethu.
Already.
Mfethu. Please, ladies, open your eyes, guys.
Except you're married to your work.
The Bible says
Saben.
this is right. Komama Revelations, when the devil is too busy, he will send a short girl. I promise you, it will send a short.
Did I hear correct?
And that person
That
I'm
That
just saying
sounded so
the
wrong.
Bible. Not me. The Bible says
Wow.
he will send a short person. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all the short people. I'm sorry. God is good.
Oh my word.
Hey, man.
You see, they're showing you the door, we're not Dean.
Disclaimer, Leroy, disclaimer fast. So they know this is no way connected with the channel.
Oh wow, Ella Bula. Okay guys, so all this time I've been skipping Abuti Leroy, and because ke moja morago. So moja morago tla papa.
Nna ke nyaka gore ga ke le tshabe lotlhe iso podcast Well, it's
Today
again,
you must raise your hand.
oh,
You must
son,
raise your hand.
sorry, Rakhadi Aski, sorry, Keshav. Now let me raise my hand actually first. Wait. It's my hand.
Yes, Leroy, you
So
can
may
come
I
through.
O silent happily, Leroy. Okay.
sorry. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Mina bengithi ayinisabi nonke la. Yimi nani kusasa. You're alone, Lindsay. It's again, like, you're like been skipping me the whole day. I'm like, all right. Yimi kusasa manje. Libona. Lidlo ngitsi sentle kamusho. Mara fade, wait again. But again, kind of guys know it now. There was a huge misunderstanding kind of yesterday. So born as in like hiding, sorry fade, but then fade. My last words, if you wouldn't like wanted actually say it to you, like do not say it to the other people. Nje. Like those are my standing grounds actually. Yes, for the research for the topic because like me, I did say yesterday, or guys, me hot manum pile orgen kana orge sibuha. Me, I don't really actually like get it pila guys. So guys, please help me here. Fade on Talohan. So molo honestly misunderstanding and I fade. Sorry about that. But then again, there was certain working like what's that certain slaves there like that were really not according to the house rules on Talohan. So that's where I was like, hey, guys, no, like let's not do that here and there. Then it kind of spiraled into something else. So basically, as in like making it a misunderstanding. Mare federe. Boy, now we can joke around pila fedes and the shabretecher, boy, naragwarane, but then with respect pila sent. So when you actually like step on barking and like what's that like my monk's toes actually, you should apologize actually because now barking man just like Mung here actually said like we can get like passionate for the see things like this. Yes, Fed. So you can joke around, but then again, how to you you must really apologize. So that's my thing there. You know, but in Fede, me, I'm gonna make fun of you guys a lot more. Yeah? With love of course though. And like no bad vibes fit there like just all love. Happen only too sensitive sometimes man lo mash. Come on guys, like laugh nyana man.
Lata, okay. Well, Lata.
Sisi Baloleo must be
You were
fine.
Leroy was coming nicely.
Hagila
KG.
time is there, watch
Leroy was coming nicely.
yeah. Hagila
Let
time
Narotabi,
mo
let
bona.
Narotabi, what's one?
Vele.
Yeah.
Vele
After
msasa.
school.
It's
Labon
fine.
after school.
Hey boy. Yeah. One after school, bro. One didn't know when I was sad. And if
All right,
you
then. Thank you so much, Lee. And there's a there's a comment there. Respect short people; they can gather stones from the ground very quickly.
Exactly. Bona.
So
We are
there's
closer to
something
the
I wanted.
ground.
Yeah, there's something I wanted to bring forth, and particularly to the brothers on this live. I think it is something that it is a responsibility that I would like to place on you guys, especially when we are going to have conversations going forward with Makoya. I don't know whether we're gonna get it right, how and when, but all the brothers, can we be cognizant on how we treat our sisters in these lives. What I mean by that is, if Mponyana says something and we either don't understand it or get it, or whatever the reason may be, but for whatever that reason is, we don't appreciate that opinion. But when Bonginkosi, Mpho, Dini, Senzo, Teke, Mahlatsi, they come up and say the very same thing, perhaps with different words, then we understand it. That is, can someone come bring the word? Makupe, please bring the word. It is when the word comes. What is it?
I've got confidence in you. You've got this.
But I want the word evaile. I'll get the word. So, you bring it.
Is it gaslighting?
I wouldn't say gaslighting, because it's more towards the gender. I don't know what to call it, but just because a woman said it, we don't take heed to it.
I go
But when a
like
man comes in,
it's undermining. Literally, it's undermining.
It is undermining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Undermining.
Yeah, gender bias. There is another one. Yeah. So undermining gender bias. And I think we do that so much so that sexism, gender bias, yes, we do it, and it could even be unconsciously so, perhaps because of where we come from, how we're raised, and perhaps our culture. Because in some cultures, women are not allowed to say certain things or allowed to speak in certain situations and whatnot. And oftentimes, they would speak secretly to whoever the man is, and the man will then echo that, and then that will be taken as that. We see it in boardrooms. We see it quite everywhere. And I don't know what it is. Maybe we need to identify, or someone who has identified it, what it is in us as men to then not take the opinions of women with the same value as we do the opinions of a man. Right? Whether is it in the tone that the man says it, that it sounds better, or what is it that we are doing? But I would like us to then be self-aware of that in this life, and be aware of it outside of this life, so that even when you are in a meeting and you see that this person said this thing, people are not taking it. If you're gonna come and say it, be like, hey, there's a point that this person made that I feel like you guys did not hear. So and so, please say the point, and not hore you then saying it and then you say, this is what so and so said. So I think we should. That's another form of our place that we can, or what we can play, the role we can play in feminism, right? So that is something that was brought forward by one of the ladies in our lives, and I struggled to see it, not to understand what she's saying, but to see it. And I was like, it's possibly because I'm a man and I'm not seeing it because I'm a man, So there is somewhat an internal bias that is there that we need to be cognizant of. So that is what I wanted to. I don't know if maybe the ladies would want to temple or say it better than I have, or whichever way. Let me give the ladies that opportunity. Sabrina?
Hi
High-key experience, ne? But generally, when it comes to that, I'm one young lady that always states something when it comes to male. I will never be a man, but I would love to learn certain things that are male orientated, because how that then is received, Konane, is how I know what to say, what not to say, what to engage in and what not to engage in when it comes to certain aspects that are aligned with the male species, right? Because Hatile no name calling king. Yeah. Hello. So
Okay.
we could learn a lot from each other, especially with how we were raised and how the segregation of gender has honestly just been a problem, especially Corona with tribalism. You know what I'm saying? So it would be great if batho ba bontate, in the position or pedestal that they know they deserve or are on, would also be able not to look down but to teach us as to who's who in the zoo and how that particular role actually works. And man re rutane hore ba ko bo dini a ke re bone ba itshwara jane, the Tswanas, the Sothos or whatever, man. But like I said, respect and kindness are a priority when it comes to interacting con. So yeah, let's go back
Thank you
raw
so
for
much.
man.
All right. Well said. Makupe?
I like because it seems like I always have something to say.
And is that wrong for you to always have something to say?
Sengiyasaba manje.
Yeah.
I think that there's something I think that Sabelo said, Hore, unlearning certain behaviors is very important. So I think the new currency of life is actually unlearning habits. And like you were saying, some things we are not cognizant of. So you're not intentionally sidelining me because I'm a woman, but it's coming across that way. Because of a woman's daily experiences, and maybe you're not in the boardroom, I'm not heard at home, I'm not heard, and then I come to Makoya, I'm not heard, so for nje o e tjhong, yes, I think that it would help if indeed it was a safe space. You can like try to introspect and see gore, what I said, could it have come across as this? When I did this, could it have come across as this? If there are 4 people on the panel, I hear all 4 of them are saying the same thing, but I only misunderstand one of them. What does that mean? So yeah, that's all I can say. It's a daily struggle for some people. Some people struggle, some people don't. And Elena, I would be very happy to accept any constructive criticism or constructive points. Um, one of Kyo said, yeah. Finally, after finally,
No, I
after we
think
said
you
everything. Usanje besikhuluma ngawe cabanga.
Yes.
So yeah, maybe yeah, look out for those things, blind spots.
Yeah. Alrighty. Thank you so much, Mami. I think I saw Mpo had raised your hand.
Yeah. Me, I wanted to say to all the ladies who are part of the Makoya family, right? If at any point in time I did what KG said we sometimes do, me, I apologize. And I'm opening a door to say, if that happens, please call me out. Because, sometimes we just need to be called out so that we can learn, we do tend to have stupid behaviors as men, some form of entitlement that we have, and it for us it might seem normal, but then it could be received as disrespectful. And yeah, I on my end, because don't want to apologize for other people. On my end, me, I apologize if I've done it. There's no bad, Dean. There's no bad. Uh, just that's it. Period.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Sabzi?
You know, on from my side when I KG, and I think this is another reason why I didn't really like take much part in that glass ceiling topic that they had the other day, because fortunately for me, I walk the talk.
Okay.
I know who I am. I know where I come from. I know I'm a gem. I'm not saying that other people don't, but I have a very bold personality, and I'm almost very not. I won't say I'm always dominant, but if khona le batho ba leng dominant, I'll be part of them. So I being undermined because of my gender, or I think for the past what's now 2024, for the past 6 years I've been in like male dominant positions and being the only woman, and even worse, the only black woman. So I've never, my dad, oh guys, the man that raised me have always like ensured me, like he has always taught me, Khori, wherever you go, you need to make it known who you are. And sometimes people feel if you feel intimidated or inferior or insecure, or people pick that nonsense up. If you feel that about yourself, people pick it up. But if you walk boldly, if you guys, Mina, even my voice is demanding. I could be sitting at the back of the taxi and having a conversation. The person that's sitting at the front seat will turn and want to look gore ke mang o buang, because I'm very, and yes, Dean, as short as I am very demanding. So I've never, like, I don't really struggle with being undermined or anything. Even when I'm in a relationship, my voice is always heard, KG, in short. So I can't really say that I can reflect with other women that have gone through that. So on my side, I really can't say much.
All right. Thank you so much. Sabrina Dinora. All right. So thank you so much. Yes.
Sorry, Leroy, this, do you know what Ranaka thing is following me? Webo? And actually, I wanted to say, Khuri, there's something in Sabrina that almost sounds like me. Like, she will say like something, and I'm like, why is it my voice? Like, she almost sounds like me.
There we go. Yes, Lee, I saw your hand, sir.
I wanted to say something, but I forgot. Oh, yeah, yeah. Himana, kids, you know what, nah? There is actually something that I realized actually today. We should have more of these misunderstandings actually. Nah? Because they're gonna stir up the commotion and the passion and the feelings that they really had. Mari. Look at actually what happened actually today. We have reached 50K, like without saying, yo guys, hey guys, please tap the screen. So now, this is actually good for business, my G.
Mogata, o itshwarela mo mokgatleng le wena. O itshwarela mo mokgatleng.
Jwale case wena ha o mpone ntle le wena case ha o mpone, and then o itse ke ba re keng kana ba re keng the drama raso, and then 100K pa on top. Look at that, my G.
Leroy, Sibadala, please. You
No case, like we can actually like what I can re di scene so until so isn't like breaking like let's say it's a the scenario and feeling then like me kids let's say ra roga kana mon, and then in a commotion nyana raso, and then boom 100K no yan. Why no guys, as in like working like what game, the Makoya house is on fire today. Why no
Go block a little.
Subzilla kids,
Go mute
but
a
that's
little.
so you know Yeah, you see this?
Call me
Exactly that. You see that?
mute yourself.
Look at that boy.
So when I Leroy
Very good for business.
rire commotion pele, ne? Then we get
Yeah, what
serious.
like? Yeah, sure. Oh, so sorry, say like mole. That no, guys, like we are just acting. Calm down. Oh my god, you've been pranked. Yay. You see that?
I'm gonna remove
Huh?
you, Leroy. I'm gonna remove you.
That's the spirit I'm talking
No,
about.
every
That's the
family has
spirit.
one, guys. So this one is ours. We good. We are not judging or complaining. Every family has a Leroy, and this Leroy is ours. We just have to understand. He's our yellow bone. He's our abo. He's our Leroy, guys. Unfortunately, we can't throw him away. We can throw away Sabs, but we can't throw away Leroy. Leroy, we love you.
Oh, hi. Today, like, look what we're going king.
Be straight
Mpanyana, come through, mom. Come through, Mpanyana.
Dumelang, I hope you're all good. I would like to make a request gore every once in a while, maybe once a month, Rebe lead these check-in lives, just to gauge how we are as a family, readdress certain issues. Because in as much as we have had this live today, someone somehow is still going to make a mistake. It's dilo tse re bolelang ka tsona today,
Yeah.
So every once in a while, maybe once a month, we can have a live where we address certain issues. Have I stepped on your toes? I apologize. Check where we are with each other so that things are not at a whole the grudge go decide thing and eva a thing. Thank you.
Alrighty. Thank you, Papa. I think that will also be facilitated with the open door policy, so to put it, that whenever you feel aggrieved, please send a DM, and we also see when this thing is happening regularly, so that we can then address the thing. So I think it can work on and on with that. And yeah, once a month or so, we can definitely do something. I don't know how, because I know personally I would forget, but maybe this will be okay. We'll pass it on to Vibe Stealer. Maybe then we'll just do that so that it's on the calendar, and then we just because also maybe there might be a month where there's really nothing to check in on, I guess. So yeah, maybe it will just be a question as we come in a particular live, and then we bring it in. And I think there's sometimes also lives where we ask you what's on your mind, so that maybe then it could be another thing. But I think also a good one is send a DM, guys. Send a DM. Most of you probably have Leroy on WhatsApp. If not, send a DM. And if you have said, maybe if your DM is not attended to when we're in the live, be like, yo, I sent a DM, I have not been responded to. Then we just work around that, because also the DMs lot, so sometimes we do miss it. We don't always follow and check this. So that is basically that. And I think, is it all good, Mpongana?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you kindly. There was another thing that I wanted to say before I give Abuti Senzo. Oh yes. I will take us back a bit to there was a time where the Makoya headquarters had a number of people, right? And during this time, you would see a lot of different people hosting. Currently, we don't have that going, so most of the time you'll see me and Leroy. And during that time, what we picked up was dangerous. During that time when there was a number of us, what we picked up is we had fluctuating numbers, yeah, where if KG host will have these numbers, when Mpongeno host will have these numbers, Liro host will have these numbers and whatnot. And there was a pattern that I picked up to say, by nature of this, there tends to be favoritism, right? In when do people come, when who is hosting, and whatever the case may be. And we understand that people, you like whoever you like and whatnot, but we want to also put it to you guys that in itself, that's a form of favoritism, and it's not great, right? For us and for the platform in general. So one of the other decisions that were then made was that we're not gonna necessarily have Leroy only tackle these type of topics, KG only tackle these type of topics, and so only tackles these type of topics, so that we can have a mix and topics just flow accordingly. So so that is how then things started happening. And obviously with the shift of us no longer doing the segment radio, also the numbers also get affected because people were purely just coming in because of that, right? So I just wanted to put it to you guys that we request, personally me, it's not even we, personally I request that we offer respect to every host, equal amount of respect, regardless of the personality of the host or whatever the case may be. If we can do that, I think I would generally appreciate it. And yeah, so that is that. And Abutu Senzo, you can come through. I remember you came with a suggestion, yeah, the radio segment, so maybe you elaborate on that. Yes, one, very important that every host is given and afforded the same respect, the same, yes, regardless of height, yabo. So that it does not mean that if KG is more articulative than Leroy, therefore Leroy must not be taken serious when he's hosting, you know? So let's not do that. That's all we are asking. So that is that. Abuti Senzo? Abuti Senzo, you're still mute. Okay, so I'm reading one's comment saying, recently I've noticed some serious undermining of certain characters. All right, so I think let's not do that. And yeah, so that's it. Okay, Abuti Bongingozi will come, I guess, when he's ready. Subs, anything that I'm forgetting, Mama?
Not really. You have literally covered it.
Yangena ikolo. Abutumpo?
No, it wasn't a
Oh,
call.
okay, yes, Mama.
Sorry. Yeah, I wanted to say that you've literally covered everything, but also I just want to add to say to the guys that yeah, Linda Waitsi, I really honestly want to apologize if any host has made you guys feel in any type of way. Any host is representing myself, is representing KG, is representing Leroy and Vibe Steeler, and representing the whole of Makoya, you know? So we've always explained to you guys why we started this thing and what is our vision and our mission and what we stand for and all of that, you know? So let us have fun. In all of that, I think conversation I was having Lima Coupe when I was speaking to her about quitting my job, I said to her, one thing, we wake up in the morning every single day going to work, and the main reason why we are wrong, it's because you're working for money, right? But also at that same level, you need to love and enjoy what you do. So yes, we are here, and respectfully so, we speak about everything, and guys, I mean, serious things, jokes, and all of that. But our main thing is, I always say to Leroy, always remember to have fun. It could be a serious conversation or serious topic or whatever, but always remember to have fun. Ke a kopa hle, ka bo- kore- ka boikokobetso bo bogolo. Can we not? I'm not. Koketso, that's not for you. This is me just saying. You know, sometimes even when I am such a, I am. I think the reason why I can be messed up at times is I always try and be the bigger person. Sometimes even when you can see that a person is coming for you, just turn a blind eye, guys. Just act like yes, long zomziba lo. I'm not gonna entertain this. I'm here for this. I'm here for this, and for this reason, I'm going to stick on what I am for and why I'm here. You know, let us try and not entertain every smallest thing that is said to us or that happens to us, or you know. And I'm not saying that you guys, Punyana said there's bullying. I'm not saying that people, KG, must now suddenly accept being bullied or undermined or anything like that. But if it's something that you can honestly just ignore, by all means, guys, can we just do that? Can we just be here and have fun and have good laughs? And nna ke rata go tshega, so anything in is all that. But guys, we love you, and this is why we're doing this thing. Can't you say it? I mean, I'm sure you guys know that I have such a hectic job. I'm always on the road and struggling with a connection, but I will still try and fight and, you know, be here. So can we make our time here with our while? That's all I'm asking for.
There we go. Alrighty. Thank you so much, Mama. Mfundisi wam.
I KG, I take offense. Why a deep breath before Kulumemi? It's like you're
Why
getting ready
a
for a
deep
war.
breath? No, because I wanted to say something, and I was like, I'm gonna talk for another 5 minutes. So let me give you first the opportunity. Then I'll talk after.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sanibonani bantu benkosi. Sanibonani bodadewethu kuzo zonke inkalo imfudumalo yothando lwenu siyakwazi ukuthi siyithole noma ngabe kuthiwa sikuphi. Ngisacela KG, I hear that since the beginning of the live we've been talking about people's behaviors and how to conduct ourselves moving forward. And when you started, you had asked for suggestions. But maybe before I give my suggestion, which I already did, but before I elaborate on it more, maybe I would ask if it's possible for you to maybe give an insight as to why the Ask a Man segment was maybe put to hold or ended, or just to give us before, because I might have a different view, and uthole ukuthi my suggestion will not be a good one based on the reasons that you guys ended, because I don't think that we were given a reason as to why.
Okay. Okay. All right. I believe we did give a reason. Maybe it was not, might have been missed, or maybe it was not available. It sounded like it was PR, but two main reasons. And I'm not going to say them according to their weight, but one was we felt also that our brand, or what we're trying to build as Makoya will be shaky if it is based on Ask a Man. in as much as what then gets discussed in Ask a Man touches on the topics that we also want to discuss. It was particularly an easier way of continuing the conversation, so to put it. But we could not therefore just build our thing on that segment. And if basically the segment finishes for whatever reason on radio, then it means we will no longer have a brand. So we do not want to therefore identify ourselves with that segment, particularly because they are doing it and they are brand themselves. So that is that. And we wanted to find our own. And it was a great introduction, so to put it, of ourselves and what we wanted to do. In terms of the lives that we wanted to host and how we did it. And we also wanted room to grow because Ask a Man topics most of the time all became about Mjolo. And also some people were tired of that. We actually, I don't know, you guys remember a couple of people who no longer come to the lives just because they were like, nah, I'm tired of hearing about Mjolo and whatnot, particularly in the context and in the things that were happening or becoming very frequent from that segment, right? There were times where we were like, guys, we've talked about this thing. We have nothing else to say here. This is the case, right? So then we saw that because we would run two things at the same time or on the same live, it would be the segment there, Ask a Man, then have our own topics. Then it happened also that when we're having our own topics, we would not have enough time to dwell into them. And people would say, guys, we give too much time to Ask a Man, and we have great topics that we can do. And we were like, you know what? I think the opinions of the people, also including of what we wanted to also do, it was a right time for that. And we're like, there won't be a perfect time to jump off, so let's jump off and just go at it. And we also understood that jumping off meant numbers will dwindle and whatever the case, because some people purely just came to it because maybe they don't have the radio wherever they are on their phone, so they would use our thing as a way of listening to that and then continuing the conversation. So it was a mix of that. That's the first point. Second point, it was also now us wanting to stand as a brand and therefore also opening opportunities to brand deals or sponsorships, right? So I think it was gonna be a legal nightmare running that segment while having a sponsor, so it could easily be seen as if we are benefiting financially from that segment type of a thing. So we do not want to have any legal issues in that regard, and even if they could be maneuvered, we didn't even want to necessarily go that route. And we understood that we can also still have, because we had established ourselves equally so as individuals who can contribute into your concerns and your problems and whatever the case may be, and give advice where it is due, where it is needed, then we said we can still have our segment of it. Hence, we had the Talk to Me Ndwana as that, so that someone can come through and then state that I have an issue, whatever the case and whatever. So we would rely then on DMs and whatnot. So, but because of that also, not everyone would know that we have that and to send DMs. It will only be people like yourselves who would know that what we are doing and whatnot. So that's why we have not had a lot of Talk to Me Ndwana segment where we can bring anything, questions and whatnot. So that is that. I don't know, Subs, if I have, or Leroy, if I missed any important point in how we got to that decision.
Brad, You are the perfect guy for actually, as in like, what's that? I'm like PR jobs in Penchak. You explained this so beautifully. Beautifully. So yeah, as in like basically that, man, you know, as in like just to actually be as in like working Ronarelo wine and let us grow Rona as in like Cosmo Koya beyond like Metro FM. Basically that. But yeah, you put it beautifully,
All
man.
right. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Good sensor.
Okay, thank you. I needed that clarity. Um, for the sake of numbers, is it possible to have something similar to it, like we did before with Talk to Mentwana? Just to get our old people back, because the numbers have dropped, if we're being honest, ever since the new sort of structure that we have here.
Yeah.
Maybe if we could have another Talk to Me Dwan and then build on that, even if it's not every day, but maybe twice a week. I don't know. Maybe just to get the numbers back, and get our old people back, and probably even new people as well.
Yeah. And just to go deeper on it, when we do it, um, how would we? I'm trying to picture. So, for example, there's what 25 of us now here. Regularly, there's about 30 of us here. Are the concerns or stories gonna come from us, or how will that happen? Or how do you see it happening?
It,
Yeah.
it could come from us, KG. It could come from, we could also, like how some lives, you would find that they get their content probably even from platforms like X, um, formerly known as Twitter, or maybe we could even have our own, maybe we do our own. I mean, most of us here probably have stories, or within our own neighborhoods, that we would like to share with I. Hey, now this happened. How would
Yeah.
we then approach it? How would we? We could all take part in it. It doesn't really have to be it's the Makoya team, like how we used to have before, when people used to inbox their stories and say, "Would listen, I am the Dwana for today. This is what I have." I think we can
Yeah.
all party.
Okay. No, taken. Agreed. Subzi?
Um,
Was my
you will correct me, KG and Leroy, if I'm wrong, but upendula inceku.
no.
Nothing from that part, nothing changed. The only thing that we changed was listening to Metro FM, but we continued with Talk to Mintwana. When I say nothing really changed. So when we cut off Metro FM's Ask a Man, we continued with whatever stories we were getting from Kuma TMs. Also remember, when there is no story from you guys, then there isn't a Talk to Mintwana.
Yeah.
What makes it Talk to Mintwana is getting stories from you guys. So the stories were getting less. Hence, we started, okay, instead of just being live and just wingling it, let us now start coming with topics for the day. So if we have a anonymous, by all means, we will tackle anonymous for the day. But if we don't have, then we are just gonna continue. So how we started is we started like laying out topics. Like, so on a Sunday we'll have topics for the week, like from Monday to Friday. And then if we get an anonymous on Tuesday, then we take a look anonymous, and then each topic at Tuesday automatically moves to a Wednesday. So that's how we've been taking it. So on that part, we didn't really change anything. Like I'm saying, if there isn't an anonymous, if Usenzo does not come with a story from Ekas, I think there was one person, Kechu, who came and said her neighbor, she came through not as a nonza, but came through for her neighbor. I think her neighbor Nana Diba, and I can't remember the story because we also we also like threw like the rope and said, guys, this is for anything. If I think Omongulari, that person is disturbed, the neighbor is mentally ill, And then thinking, I think we have had stories like that because we said it doesn't necessarily have to be number one. I agree. It doesn't have to be about Njolo. It doesn't have to be about you, but if there is a thing that you see happening in your area or in your community or in your family, come through and let us talk about it, and then those stories started to get less and lesser. Then we started saying, okay, we can't just get on to the live and just decide we're going to speak about anything. Let us now start having topics, and then if we do have a story for the day from anyone from the audience, then we will tackle that story. But let us have a topic for the day just in case that does not happen. So I hope I answer Abuti Senzo.
All right, thank you very much. It is clear. In that case, I do have a suggestion then, because from where I stand, maybe from the view of most people who have shared the same views as myself, it seems as if that particular segment has been completely put to hold. Um, so, in order for it to continue, is it possible that the person hosting, whether it's at the beginning or at the end of of that particular show, you then remind us that, hey guys, remember that we have a segment called Talk to Me Ndwana, and this is how it works. Just explain to them so that people can in, be aware that whatever they find interesting to discuss on this platform, then they can bring those stories. Then for maybe that topic for that next day, yes, ngaba iyona lonto, or we could continue with the topic that him has decided to which we're going to talk about. Instead of just ukuthi iyekwe nje completely kungakhulunywa ngayo singazi whether isakhona noma ayikho, because you are correct, Sabs, in saying ukuthi the stories like that Talk to Me Ntwana segment hasn't been there for a while, and that's because iy'tori ezincane or azikho. But just remind us ukuthi lalela, we have the segment, let's continue with it.
All right, understood. With sense, I think we will do that. Yeah, I think we'll do that every time. I think Leroy, maybe it will be for now be part of the ads as we do them, so that at least then people are always reminded that they can bring something in. And also to the thing when I would say so. The and this is just purely my opinion, it's not Makoya, no. The thing of, for example, getting stories from other platforms and then we discuss it in our platform, in as much as it's great and well, and some topics really deserve that. But I've seen that most of their lives will have that, So then you'd find that this discussion is being had in Makoya, it's been had in someone else's life, it's been had in someone else's life. So a part and parcel of still also trying to make ourselves unique was to kind of refrain from bringing external things that perhaps have been discussed in other things. But sometimes, the topics do warrant us to discuss it, especially because some of them are of a social nature instead of just being mgozi, but it's of a social nature, and it would be a great point for us to talk about it. Then we can definitely bring it. So I think also what we can do together with you guys is, as you are in the Twitter streets, right? You can be like, hey, I saw this thing and I wanted us to think, take a screenshot, send it through, and maybe you say you would like to have this discussion type of a thing. Then we do that, So maybe that will be another way to vosa the segment there, Talk to Me Ndwana type of a thing, so that then maybe we'll then run both Talk to Me Ndwana and a topic, if the time allows, or we'll just do Talk to Me Ndwana, excuse me, alone. So I think maybe that might be helpful of Kanjena Senzo.
Yeah, thank you, guys. I think I've covered that one part, and it is. I just wanna thank you for having today's live. Like Leroy was saying, would say it's actually good that maybe we could have a sort of a review every once in a while. You know, I really commit. Futhi ningakhohlwa mpho la ngezansi angingisabi ngiyadlala ngiyadlala.
Jwayela, ngisabi nonke la. Nonke akinisabi nami.
Yabona uSenzo
Nonke.
noLeroy nina ne ningani yabona ningani lento enye ukuthi kumele ngihloniphe abantu abakhulu yabona although Senzo is I think a month or two older than me but still